Okay, so moving on to your smart device having some type of storage and some type of memory, right? So your book goes into how does your smartphone actually resembles a laptop. So it's able to go out to the internet, but the one thing that a laptop has over your smart device is it probably has more storage in order to store your files and your pictures and uh, your music on, right? But a lot of um, these phones, they actually have storage that we can actually put more songs on them, more photos can be taken and videos can be recorded and then saved on our phone. Now, a lot of times, uh, this comes into the price of the phone, right? So you could get a 100 and matter of fact, let's just go ahead and just look at that. I'm going back to Google Glass, Best Buy, and a lot of times, um, you can buy the phone based off of what type of storage that it may have. I'm going straight iPhone. I bet this 14 is like $2,000. But anyway, so you can get like when you see the Apple 14 Pro, and you see a max of 256 gigabytes of storage. In today's world, that's considered to be fairly small, or right there on the medium side, right? So it's really when you look at that GB, right, that 256. I want you guys to think about how many pictures that you actually take, how many videos that you actually record. That's gonna actually play a part into how many apps you can actually download. And then it may cause your iPhone to kind of run slow if you have so many things blocking up that much storage space, because a computer is supposed to work like this. It's supposed to have its processor speed, and then it's supposed to have the storage and then the memory. And these three things work together in order to keep a speed type of reaction to whenever you're hitting that app is supposed to react, right? But if it's all clogged up with you got 2,000 pictures up there with um 40 videos recorded at 4K quality, it's going to eat up a lot of that space. And then you want to put your apps on top of that, it bogs down the actual processing speed in order to keep those things in place. So a lot of times, um, we go for a cheaper phone when it comes to the storage, but then when we actually are putting the phone to its everyday usage, we end up maxing out the phone more quickly than we actually bargained for. And I'll go on later in the lecture today and say how can we actually get maybe a cheaper phone, but then start putting things out there on the in the cloud, right? That way it could free up our space on that. Like nowadays you don't have to load your songs onto the phone. Back in my day of being at Morris, we had to well, no, we didn't have the phones could not get music at that time. That didn't come until I think 2012. But um back when I was in the army, you could load the actual songs onto the phone, right? But then that would eat up a lot of space. So nowadays, you can actually stream the songs off your app. So Apple Music, I use Amazon um, Music. You also got Tidal and these streaming platforms clear up that space that you actually taking up, putting on songs on your phone, and now you're just using the radio waves or the Wi-Fi waves to actually stream music. Great, but then like the bad part of that is that you gotta pay for that service, right? So it's things to wear out or way out, right? I really wanted to go back up in here and really just show you. So when I said that 256 was kind of like the medium of it, your internal memory could go all the way up to a terabyte, 1,000 gigabits, and that's OD in my opinion is too much. I mean, I don't think you're ever gonna use up uh, a terabyte worth of storage or have that many photos on your phone. without clearing it out, or the phone just breaking, or you upgrading the phone maybe in 2 or 3 years, right? Unless you just take pictures every day. But anyway, 512 is a little bit OD as well. I don't think you need to pay that much for it. I was sticking to 256 and use my cloud applications in order to offload some storage space in order to keep that freshness about my cell phone. Now this also applies to tablets as well, right? Right. So your tablets work the same way as your phone, and whenever you have that storage space kind of gets loaded up, then you need to offload those type of photos and videos and documents that you have saved on your phone off to a cloud solution or onto a some type of static solution. So with that, I'll transition back to the slides. Just to kind of finish this off, I would probably go with a 256, maybe a 128, because a 128 is pretty decent too. So, but anyway, if you had that 256 and you wanted to just offload that all those files off to a something that you have in your hand, you can have a flash drive or a USB. So this is goes here to this flash memory or USB uh, component where you hook up your cell phone to your laptop and then you make those transactions between those two devices, right? So hopefully we're all familiar with USB and then what type of storage that there are. It's just kind of like having a hard drive in your hand that you could pretty much go from machine to machine. Okay. Same thing when it comes to the SD slots. If you have a Android phone, you probably be more familiar with the added memory that you could put into a SD slot versus an Apple phone. Apple phone doesn't allow that feature, um, so you're pretty much going to have to buy that out of the store. But with a Samsung, it may come with a SD slot on the side of the phone. It's not the slot for your phone provider, not that chip slot, the slot that you put in there and you put your actual service chip in there, but it's another actual insert, maybe on the other side of the phone, that you could put is removable. You could put extended memory on that side and actually get more storage. And so maybe if you had a lot of pictures on one side in a folder, you can actually just put a bigger chip or SD slot card in there. That's maybe 256, and then load all your photos on there, and then put that in storage, right? And take it out, and then put a new one in there that's blank, and then continue to go on with your daily activities. So that's removable storage. Now, from a security standpoint, we want to make sure that if we're telling someone to be mindful of our media or of our removable storage, we want to make sure that we don't lose our USBs, we don't use our SD cards. If you see one just maybe laying down on the ground, uh, do you want to actually pick that up and plug that in to see what that is? Hackers will purposely put viruses on USBs sticks and just leave them out there for people to actually pick them up. Okay, and it's a known. I've I've seen that type of attack just because we have penetration testing at my job, and we've seen that tactic happen to where people are curious by nature. If someone sees a USB drive that's just kind of sitting maybe in on the counter at the restroom, someone may pick that hard drive, that actual USB stick up and put it into their laptop, and now they have been affected by some type of virus.